Hi, I'm Calista. I break down the dating games, the psychology and the power plays, so you never get blindsided again. Let's talk about ghosting. The silence, the vanishing act, the unanswered messages. You didn't get closure, you didn't get an explanation, just the cold echo of absence where a connection used to be. And now, they're back, reappearing with a casual message like nothing happened. Maybe they say they were busy, or they weren't ready, and part of you wants to believe them. But before you open that door again, let's take a deeper look at what ghosting actually is, and more importantly, what it becomes when you reward it. This isn't just about someone disappearing, it's about what that disappearance means, psychologically, emotionally, strategically. Because when you take a ghoster back, you're not just forgiving the silence, you're normalizing it. And that sends a message that silence gets rewarded. Ghosting is often a shortcut. It's a way of avoiding discomfort, of skipping out on accountability. The person who ghosts may be conflict avoidant, emotionally immature, or simply unwilling to offer basic respect. But here's what matters. Ghosting is not just a disappearance, it's a decision to withhold communication, clarity, and care. And in that moment, they showed you how they handle tension, vulnerability, or simply not feeling like talking. When someone ghosts, they're prioritizing their comfort over your emotional well-being. They're saying, your feelings are less important than my avoidance. That's not just poor communication. That's a blueprint of how they navigate relationships. Now let's fast forward. They've come back, said they missed you, or acted like nothing ever happened. And you accept it. You respond. You let them back in. Here's the psychological problem with that. You've just trained them. You've taught them that disappearing has no consequence, that emotional neglect doesn't damage their access to you, that you'll be there, waiting whenever they feel like dropping back in. And people learn very quickly what they can get away with. The next time they feel overwhelmed, bored, distracted, or just not that invested, they remember one thing. They can vanish. They can treat you like you don't matter. And you'll still be there. You'll still let them back into your life. This isn't about revenge. It's not about being cold. It's about recognizing patterns. Because when behaviour is rewarded, it repeats. And it's highly likely they will ghost you again. Respect is the foundation of any meaningful connection, and ghosting is one of the clearest signs of a lack of it. But when you allow a ghoster back in without any accountability, you're showing yourself a lack of respect too. You're saying, my need for connection outweighs my need for respect. You're saying, your comfort matters more than how you treat me. And the moment that dynamic is established, it rarely gets corrected. Instead of rising to meet you, they lower the bar. You tolerate the bare minimum, and they give you less each time. Because if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, your time, or your emotional safety, they're not building a relationship. They're using access. Every time you accept someone back without standards, it chips away at your internal sense of value. You start to wonder if you were too much, if you should be more chill, more patient, less reactive. But the truth is, it's not your job to make ghosting easier to return from. It's your job to recognize that disappearing without explanation is emotional laziness at best and manipulative at worst. And the more you make space for that kind of behavior, the more you normalize it in your life. You begin to second-guess your intuition. You overthink simple things. You start shrinking to be more acceptable to someone who's already shown you they can discard you. That is not connection. That's trauma bonding. Look, not every ghoster is evil. Some people genuinely panic. Some have trauma. Some don't know how to handle feelings. But that doesn't mean you need to provide emotional rehab. You're not here to be the person they treat badly while they figure themselves out. If someone ghosts and returns with a real explanation, true remorse, and a consistent change in communication, that's different. But if it's just a cycle of vanish and return, that's not growth. That's manipulation. Your standards can hold space for empathy, but they should never collapse into self-abandonment. When someone ghosts you and tries to come back, take a pause. Don't rush to reconnect. Don't fill the silence with excuses, and don't let loneliness speak louder than self-respect. Ask yourself, did they acknowledge the impact of their silence? Did they take responsibility or just sweep it under the rug? Have they shown a pattern of avoidance or inconsistency? And most importantly, does letting them back in align with the self-respecting version of you you're becoming? You don't need to scream. You don't need to block or beg. You simply need to choose differently. Because the moment you refuse to tolerate disappearing acts is the moment you start attracting the kind of connection that stays. So no, it's not petty to say no to a ghoster. It's a powerful decision for you. It's the difference between being someone's emotional pit stop or being someone they know they can't mistreat. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. And when you stop welcoming ghosts back into your life, they stop haunting your future. So what would I do if someone ghosted me and wanted to come back in my life? I'd keep that door shut, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You don't reward the behaviour that hurt you. You don't answer crumbs with warmth. You don't open your heart again to someone who has already treated it like it was disposable. You understand that ghosting isn't just a passive act. It's a reflection of their emotional capacity. And if they lack the basic skills to end things with decency, they lack the skills to love you properly. Closure doesn't come from their return. It comes from your decision to close the door without needing anything more from them. Because someone who disappears without warning has already told you how they handle discomfort. They retreat, they avoid, they leave you with the mess. That's not love. That's not leadership. And that is not what you build your life around. So if they ghost you and come back, don't call it fate. Don't call it timing. Call it what it is, a pattern. And this time you don't repeat it. You end it with composure, with class, and with the quiet confidence of a person who knows that being chosen isn't the prize. Being respected is. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's been there. And if you want more emotionally intelligent breakdowns like this, you know where to find me. See you in the next one.